Hey, welcome back to the Artie Lange Show here from New York City, where we're about to get snowed in. I love it. Very romantic. Nothing if I'm not very romantic, Brent. I can't wait for the snow.
You are. I can't wait.
Yeah, nice bottle of Chardonnay that I can't drink because of my problems. Sit in front of a fireplace that I don't have. And,
Adrian will love it, though.
Adrian,
Valentine's Day's coming up. It's going to be perfect for you,
That's right.
Did you buy her anything yet?
Nothing yet. Nothing
Okay.
yet. I can't reveal it.
Okay.
Sitting here with me is someone whose life is very exciting right now. I've just been chatting a little bit about it. Sara Schaefer, comedian, writer, entrepreneur, host, everything extraordinaire. Sara, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So we've had your friend Nikki Glazer on, another great comic. So you right now you have a podcast that you do with her.
Yeah, we've been doing that for like 2 years.
And how do we find that?
It's called You Had to Be There.
You had to be there.
You can Google that. It'll take you to it. 2
years?
Yeah, about 2 years now.
And then and now you have your own show on MTV together.
We have a talk show. It premiered 2 weeks ago.
So a lot of the executives must have loved your chemistry.
Yes, that's kind of what they. That is the only thing that came from the podcast to the show. The podcast has nothing. People are like, "Is the show
totally
like a
different?
It's totally different because the podcast is just us talking.
Right.
There's no structure, no planning. We do zero preparation.
And then
down.
when you get to this MTV stuff, that's what sucks.
Everything's written and
I'm horrible at planning. I'm horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me. I planned this outfit.
That took weeks.
It did, actually. I'm bad at, like, the preparation and let's just do it already. I think a lot of comics are like that, right? You just want to go, give me a mic and let's just get this done.
Yeah, leading up to the premiere, there were months of work. And then, our show is live. So I just wanted to do it. I was sick of hearing everyone's ideas and what they thought it was going to be like. And it was so built up that it was really nerve-wracking and crazy. And then the second week, I was actually kind of bummed. I was like, this wasn't as awesome as last week.
You're already bored.
Yeah.
Sometimes, it's funny. I've done Letterman like about a dozen times now. And when I first did it, it was years ago, and I was so excited. And for some reason, that excitement, I guess, gave me like a blindness to that he was probably incredibly bored by that. Like I felt like my excitement was his as well.
Yeah.
And when I watched it back, I said, look, he's genuinely happy to have me there, And then you go back a couple more times and you start to get jaded. And then you realize, my God, by the time my first time happened, this guy hated every comedian ever lived and had just contempt for them and must really hate my guts. Show business, if you have this kind of success, the bloom goes off the rose, doesn't it?
Well, it's like now, the second show, that's when the analytical perfectionist kicked in, and I was like, what did we, the first show, it was like, we did it.
Right.
I didn't scream something racist on TV or like on live TV, like I had all these crazy fears.
I usually save that for the limo ride home.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the second show, it was like, okay, what can we do to make this better? I hope people watch. All those thoughts came into it.
Right.
But it's been awesome. It's been so
if
fun.
you would scream something racist, what race do you think would have been
I don't
offended?
even know. I don't have those.
You can't
thoughts.
even think of something.
I mean,
probably all the
if I
typical
worked
stuff.
on it, I could probably think of something.
If you got a lot of the ideas from the people who are giving you ideas.
But I was just thinking, when I was thinking about doing it live, I was like, what could I do that would just ruin me?
Right.
And I was like, screaming something racist on live TV would probably ruin me.
I go through that with everything I do. I did Hollywood Squares once, and this was like years ago. I did it just sort of like to say I did it, and every time I got, by the way, in the entire week I got every question wrong. Every question, and I cost a woman the game. And I got booed. But besides getting something wrong, you're right. I felt any moment I could say something that'll end my career.
Yeah, like screaming out or cursing accidentally. They have someone with a button for that. Doing something awkward, embarrassing, but I was, creating all these fears in my head. Like, what if I just, and then it's over,
Just talk bad about Native Americans.
Yeah, like, what if I accidentally, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't do that anyway, but I was just making up all these crazy fears.
Well, just stop thinking that way because you're scaring me. You're scaring everybody.
Sorry.
You're scaring everybody at Viacom.
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
Now, what's your background? Did you do stand-up on the road a lot? Because you look very young. I mean, how long could you have done it for?
I'm not that young.
Okay.
I've taken very good care of my skin.
Do you mind telling the
I'm
crowd?
34.
Wow, you look very young.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. I'll wake up tomorrow morning and it'll all fall down.
Now, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, so you're 34. So have you done a lot on the road?
I actually haven't done a lot of the road because I've been in New York. I started stand up in New York, which is not a good idea. You should start somewhere else first.
It's intimidating.
And I always had a job here that kept me here. I was blogging for Best Week Ever on VH1, and then blogging for Late Night with Jimmy Fallon.
But you had jobs that were technically in show business, though. That's great.
Yes, I was working and learning production and writing and always performing in New York. So I haven't been on the road a lot, but in the past year I've done a lot more on the road. And then, Nikki was like the road dog, and I was the
she did a lot of that.
The more understanding TV production.
What was intimidating about New York with stand-up when you got here?
I didn't know anything.
Like what clubs did you go to?
The first club I performed in was New York Comedy Club.
On 24th Street?
Way east.
Yeah.
That place is a bad one. I did a bringer show. You have to bring people in order to get stage
Bring your
time.
own audience.
Wow.
I didn't understand how quickly I was going to run out of people, so I brought 17 people to my first show. You only had to bring 2. I should have had just
you can't do that.
2
You're
to
wasting.
space them out.
Yeah, you're wasting out people there.
And I was so afraid to just talk on stage that I wrote a song. I totally did that. I wrote a song about my cubicle because I worked in this law firm.
Right.
And people liked it, but it didn't work for very long. You know, the stand-up clubs were like, people were just like, "What are you doing?"
And you realize that the people who run clubs like that, they're just vicious. They're not the showbiz types you think they're going to be. It's nothing glamour. They're just business people who just know, no, we got to make these people overpaying for beer.
Yeah, and I got kind of alienated by that scene because to start in New York, there's no nice comedy club to help you. So I went and did, like the UCB improv classes.
Well, that's big. I'll get you
some of the
attention.
alt rooms and stuff, and built my way through that world and just would try anything. I did improv, sketch, hosting, stand up, and eventually just got stand up was really my thing.
See, that's what I did. I said, let me just try a bunch of stuff and maybe something will stick. The old New York Comedy Club was on 2nd Avenue and 49th Street, way before your time.
Yeah.
So this is like 20 years ago I started, 21 years ago. I was a regular there back in like 92. And it was always under some sort of construction. And this is a true story. I'm about to go on stage. It's a club that holds about 80 people. It was in the attic of this building above a deli, like where Boschetti lives in his mother's house. Mike, you remember the old New York Comedy Club, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, on 2nd and 49th. Yeah, they had people like us there. So I'm about to go on stage, and there are all these pieces of wood, like 2x4s, on the side.
Yeah.
And I'm standing on the side waiting to go on stage, and before the MC says my name, I step on a nail coming out of one of the
Oh, no.
Ooh. The nail goes into my foot. And like stuck in my foot a little bit. So my friend Jimmy, who's going on next, sees it and sees my face, and he goes, "What just happened?" I go, "I just stepped on a nail." And I looked down and I pulled the wood and the nail went through my sneakers.
Wow.
And there was blood on the nail from my foot.
Oh, no.
So it penetrated and went into my foot. So literally the guy's going, "Here's Artie Lange." So I think I deserve some sort of award for this. I went on stage and did a 20-minute set. I grabbed the $20 that I was making for the set, and I took that and used it on a cab. I went down to the old St. Vincent's and got a tetanus shot.
$20 tetanus shot. Wow.
No, a $20 cab ride.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't have health insurance. The guy gave me a tetanus shot, and it ended up costing me $600.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, it was a $580 spot. That's what
wow.
That's a minus.
That's tough to take.
So that was the old one. So, but the new one was. So did you ever get into like the Cellar or
No, I've never tried.
York?
Stand Up New York, I've done stuff at, and the Stand, that new club.
That's a great
brand new,
club.
it's
I
great.
played there one night. Yeah.
But yeah, I've just been
Bouncing
around and doing shows wherever they'll let me.
Well, you're having some
yeah.
success.